I think I'm falling in love. I think I'm falling in love. I think I'm falling in love.
Preparing to open.
I decided that after this workout, I am gonna go to Target really quick because I have a list of things. And if I want to meal prep today and do some things, I should probably get the things on my list. So it is a little small list today, but I'm going to Target, so pray for me. Hopefully I don't come out with $300 worth of stuff. So gonna go in and grab some stuff. I'll show you what I'm getting, and then it will be time to go home and make my post-workout shake. think this is literally the least amount of bags I've ever gotten in my entire life from Target, but I just had to get a couple of the essentials. This is the barbecue seasoning that I really love to use on my chicken thighs, so I'll be making that for lunch. Just needed a couple, a can of chickpeas, and then honestly, I haven't had Halo Top in like, God, I don't even know how long. I don't know what possessed me to get this, but I used to love this dairy-free peanut butter cup. So I was like, you know what, we'll get it. I haven't had dairy-free ice cream in a long time. Just some mushrooms for my egg scrambles in the morning, blueberry waffles, chicken thighs, cherry tomatoes, and this cauliflower broccoli carrot medley for a vegetable side. So that was all I got from Target, and now I'm going to make my shake and then shortly thereafter start prepping these chicken thighs. So this is literally my favorite post-workout shake. I've gone back and forth with like so many different flavors, but this is the one that I made in my full day of eating video, which is just crushed ice, blueberries, banana, spinach, vanilla almond milk, a little bit of honey, and John's Killer protein. And like, I just like the consistency of it. It's not too thick and it's so refreshing after workout. So yeah, then I will get started on prepping some barbecue chicken thighs. Those are my favorites, and I'm gonna have those for today and for the rest of the week. So that's on the agenda, but for now, oh my goodness, look at that perfection. So this is why I prefer that barbecue seasoning that I was showing you guys, this one from McCormick. It just gives it like a more charred feel, like it was actually on the grill. So I just cooked that in the cast iron skillet, regular meal prep, and then I just have my bowl of boring jasmine rice and broccolini today with some cherry tomatoes. So I'm gonna take one of these bad boys, put that there, and this is going to be my post-workout / lunch meal. So before I end today's video, I did want to discuss something really briefly, because I think, you know, myself being a macro coach and everybody that's out there trying to figure out their macros, or, you know, once they reach a certain point, they come to this crossroads kind of like, well, how do I know when to adjust my macros, and, you know, what can I do if I've been dieting for a long period of time? So without getting too scientific and dragging this video out forever, I will say this: you guys can't diet forever, right? So like, let's say, for example, that you burn 2,000 calories a day and your macros have you in a 400 calorie deficit at 1,600-ish calories per day, right? Eventually, what happens as you start to lose mass and your body starts changing is that your basal metabolic rate also changes as well. And this, in like layman's terms, basically just means that your body's adapting now to a smaller amount of food in order to survive. So that's why it always gets harder for people to lose those last 5-7 pounds, because your body is literally trying to keep you like in survival mode and essentially not lose the last bit of weight. And that's why people get stuck and they want to keep, you know, decreasing their calories and decreasing their calories. And while there is a time and place for that, obviously, like let's say you're starting out at a healthy amount and you have a decent amount of weight to lose, you're able to start higher and consistently lower your calories. Like, I would say personally, I like to adjust my clients' macros every 3 to 4 weeks, depending. This is highly dependent upon their adherence to the macros. If they're not even hitting them, it doesn't make sense for me to adjust them. But if they're hitting their macros and they're seeing results, for example, 1/2 pound to a pound of weight loss per week is pretty much ideal. If they're seeing those results, then there's no need to adjust macros because that deficit is working. So the big question is, what happens when the deficit is no longer working? So you have two options, and the first option is obviously to decrease your calories, which is not my preferred method, because I would like myself and my clients to be able to lose weight on the highest amount of calories. If decreasing calories is going to be your first choice, I would start by decreasing carbs and fat by 10 and 5 grams respectively. Try that for about 2 to 3 weeks and see if you can cut down a little bit more. If not, and you're reaching a low calorie amount, it may be time to take a step back and think if you really want to continue dieting. Now, you can also create a caloric deficit by increasing your total daily energy expenditure. So, for example, instead of cutting your calories an additional 300 calories, you can add 300 calories of cardio per week to level that out, if that makes sense. Eventually, like I said, you're gonna come to a point where you can't do either one of those things anymore, because you're either eating really low calories, or you're kind of wearing yourself out because you're exercising a ton and eating a little, which is obviously not ideal, right? right? So what we want to do essentially is to do what's called a reverse diet and basically slowly increase calories, all macronutrients, and get the person adapting to a higher amount of calories. And this does two things. Number one, it increases your basal metabolic rate, but it also, when training stimulus is applied appropriately, it also allows you to be able to build more muscle, which then increases your BMR, your TDEE. Like anytime somebody has more muscle mass, they automatically burn more calories than somebody who has less muscle mass. So that's why you'll see people who are smaller with a lot of muscle mass be able to maintain their weight on a really, really high amount of calories. If the goal for you is body composition change and you are just eating so little and you're working out really hard and you're not losing weight, I highly, highly suggest to take a step back, think about what the end goal is, and think about if you would be comfortable doing a reverse diet in order to get you eating a higher amount of calories. That way you can, number one, maintain on a higher amount of calories, and number two, cut on a higher amount of calories, because that's always the goal. We want to be able to eat more and still make progress. So I hope that makes sense. And I kind of crammed a lot of information into a small period of time, but the thing is, it's really hard when people diet for a long period of time. There's only so much you can do. There's only, you can't be eating 1,300 calories for months and months and months. It's just not gonna work. So make sure you're eating enough. Make sure you're eating a lot of whole, quality, nutrient-dense foods, veggies, micronutrients, and don't try to rush it. That's the most important thing. I think a lot of people want to see instant gratification weight loss. They want to see, 20 pounds lost in a month, and that's just not realistic. So think about the amount of time that it's taken you to put on weight, if that's what your goal is, and realize that it's going to take that plus longer to completely recomp your body. Unfortunately, it's just the way that it is. But so that's that. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I hope this was helpful and maybe motivated some of you to eat a little bit more, try to start your own reverse diet. And yeah, so that's where I'm going to end this video. Hope that you guys liked it. Give it a thumbs up. What is on my jacket? There's rice on my jacket. That is really gross. Okay. I'll see you in my next video.